Hey y'all, Miss Kennedy here from Algebra Student, and today we're looking at simplifying polynomials. And usually your directions are going to say adding or subtracting, or add or subtract the polynomials, or simplify the expression, or something like that. So we're going to look at it. It's not bad, I don't think. Of course, I know that's easy for me to say. I hear students all the time who are like, "This is so confusing. I don't get it. I just want to figure this out. I hate math. I'm terrible at math. I've always been bad at math." I've heard that so many times, and I hear you, and I know it's frustrating. So I really want to make it easier for you. So I'm going to go through these problems with you, and if you want to watch this other video that I'm going to try to put up here, then it has like the whole unit. So all in one video, so you can kind of watch it all at once. And it might be good to look out like the night before the test or something like that. I don't know. Or you may not want to wait till then. So let's jump in. First things first is look between the parentheses. So right here in between the parentheses for all of these. And notice that there is a symbol. There's a plus or a minus. If there was nothing in between, it would mean that you were multiplying, which is a whole different ball game, totally. But if it's a plus, then you're just going to combine like terms. You can actually ignore the parentheses. They don't do anything to the problem. And so you just combine like terms. So let's do that. Let's do the first one because it's got the plus sign in it. So combine like terms. What do I mean? I mean, find all of your x to the whatever power that are the same and put them together, add or subtract them. So we've got an x to the fourth and an x to the fourth here. So that's what we're looking at. So that's 2 minus 7, which is negative 5. So I know that I've got negative 5x to the fourth. Now, there's a couple of reasons that I picked x to the fourth. The main reason is that it's the biggest exponent. You want to start with your biggest exponent so that you save yourself a step. If you don't start with the biggest and work your way down, then when you finish doing this, you still have to put it in descending order. But if you just go ahead and pick the biggest exponent and work your way down in order, then when you are done, you're done. You don't have to change it up the order of anything. So this will automatically put it in descending. So we did x to the fourth, and now I would look for x to the third, x cubed. There's not one there. And then I would look for x to the second, which is x squared. There's not one. But I do see an x here and an x term here. And so I've got negative 5 minus 4, so that's negative 9. And that's an x term. And then the only thing left is a 7. So I'm going to put plus 7. All right. And that's it. I've got x to the fourth, x to the first, if there's no exponent, and then a plus 7. And that is your answer. Done. All right. So the other two have minus signs. So if there's a minus in between, you do have to have an extra step. That's just the way it works, is that you need to think about that this is like a negative 1. And it's just going to have to be distributed to all of the rest of everything after it. So negative 1 times 4r squared, negative 1 times 6r cubed. And so on. So let's look at that. It means that the first part, you just bring it straight down. There's nothing to change here because there's nothing in front of the parentheses. So I don't need the parentheses at all. I'm just going to write down what it says. 4r cubed minus 2r squared. All right, so now I get to distribute here. So I'm going to do negative 1 times 4, so I get negative 4r squared. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6, and that one's r cubed. And then negative 1 times 6 again is negative 6 again, and that one's r to the fourth. Okay, so I distributed. If you notice, all I did was change all the signs. So 4, let's do this. 4 became a negative 4, 6 became negative 6, and then 6 again became negative 6, right? So it just changed the signs after that minus that was in between the two parentheses. And some people have funny, cute little ways of remembering that. You can use that if it helps you, but if you're here, it's likely that that's not helped you. So I'm trying to let you see why you do it the way you do. That negative is a minus 1, and you have to distribute it to everything in the parentheses after the -1. Okay, now we're back to problem number 1 where we just combine like terms. So I've got an x to the 4th here, and I don't have any other x to the 4th. I just have that 1. So I'm going to bring it down and put it first. Remember, I want to put it in order so that I don't have an extra step. Make it easier for myself. All right, and then I've got an r cubed and an r cubed. So I've got 4 minus 6, which is -2 r to the 3rd, or r cubed. And then I've got -2r squared and -4r squared, and that's it. So I need to put those together. So -2 minus 4, that's -6r squared. And now I've used up every term. I've combined everything. I don't have anything left over. So that's my final answer here. All righty. They're already in descending order, so I'm done. That's so nice. I love it. Okay, so let's look at the last one. I wanted to give you an extra -1 where you have to subtract just because it's got that extra step. I figure we might as well practice that, right? So I know the first part's good. I'm just going to bring all of this down. Let's see if I can make that look a little bit nicer. Bring it all down. So 2a cubed minus 3 minus 7a to the 4th. Okay. And then here I've got that -1, so I have to distribute. So -1 times 1 is -1. -1 times -4 is +4, and that's an a squared term. -1 times -4 again, +4, and that one's an a to the 4th. Okay. Well, let's change colors a little bit. We got a lot going on here. So I've got a to the 4th and a to the 4th. So -7 plus 4. So that's -3, and that's an a to the 4th term. And then I've got this a cubed and no other a cubed. So I just bring it down, and it doesn't have a negative in front. So I know it's a positive. And then I've got 4, 3. So I'm looking for 2. So there's a squared, and it's the only one. So I bring down plus 4a squared. And then I'm looking for an a term, and there's not one. There's not one that's just a to the first power, which would just say a. And so I just keep going to the numbers. So now I want to look at, I've got -3 and -1. I was trying to think of a different way to notate because I've checked and I've circled and I've underlined. All right, so -3 minus 1. -3 minus 1 is -4. So that's what goes at the end, -4. And so that's my final answer here. All righty. There we go. And I can double check my descending order to make sure it's good. 4th, 3rd, 2nd term, or 2nd degree, and then just my constant, my number that doesn't even have a variable on it. So we're good to go. I hope this helps. And remember that you can check out that other video. It's somewhere right here, so that you can, see like more of these. I do more of these exact problems, and then I do like more that's from the whole unit. So I hope it can be really helpful to you. Thanks. Bye.